Perfect your core and get more from your run. Physical therapist Jared Beckstrand says you don't have to have chiseled abs to be a good runner, but working on your core will help, according to you, right?
Well, the chiseled abs certainly help.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt with a lot of things. Which part of the core are we talking about? What part of the midsection is this here?
No, and so a lot of times when I ask my patients specifically, do you do any core work? They say, oh yeah, I do core all the time. I do sit-ups. Not really understanding that, that is a simple and very small part of core workouts. And so referring specifically to the core, it's not only kind of the front of the abdominal wall, also the side, the back, the hips, all these areas that make up kind of the nucleus of the body that all movement is generated around. That's when we're referring to the core, that's specifically what we're talking about.
Most people don't think of the core being associated with running. Think of legs or moving your arms. It's like the last thing you think about. Why is working on the core going to make us a better runner?
And so obviously the legs are important. Hip strength, leg strength, it's all vital to running success. However, when we're talking about the core specifically, again, it's kind of the central part of the body around which all movement is based. If you do have a strong core, all of a sudden that enhances performance. You're able to go stronger, you're able to go longer, endurance is increased. There's so many good things to be said for it.
Okay, if I want to strengthen my core to be a better runner, how often should I be working on my core?
And so typically when I recommend core exercises, it's about 3 to 4 days a week. I just say give yourself 1 day off in between.
And how long are we supposed to be working on the core? Is that a long workout?
And so I brought some exercises along with me today, and to do all 5 of these exercises, it should take no more than about 10 minutes a day. So something pretty simple, pretty basic, but with excellent outcomes expected.
Okay, you mentioned you're going to show us some exercise. We have Karina who's going to help us out and show us exactly how to do this. You've got 5 exercises that everybody should do maybe like 4 days a week, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, what's the first one we're going to do?
And so the first exercise we're going to work with Karina here is called the plank. She's going to be down on her elbows and on her toes, and there you go, it's rocket science. That's it right there. She's going to hold that for about a count of 30 seconds. What's going to be important with her is I want her to keep her core nice and tight. I want her to keep her belly button sucked in. As far as maybe advancing this and making it a little more specific for running, she's going to add a march to it. When we add a march, just really simple, really basic marches right at the legs. All of a sudden we kick in the glute muscles. We make the front of the hips work a little bit harder. Excellent way to strengthen the anterior wall of the core.
Sometimes I see people working out, stretching before a run. This does not count as stretching,
This would be something totally different. Yeah, okay. A lot of times this is either on off-run days or this is after the run, things like that.
I'm feeling sorry for Karina, who's still down here doing the plank.
Just hold that for a few more minutes.
Okay, that was well more than 30 seconds. What's the next thing we're going to have her do?
And so again, the front plank is what we call that one. Great exercise for the anterior abdominal wall, so the front of it. To work the sides, both the side of the abdominal wall as well as the hips, Karina's going to get down into a side plank. And so again, what she's going to do is you pop up onto the kind of the outside of one foot, the inside of the other foot with that elbow right underneath you. She's keeping her hips nice and level. Try to keep your hips up. Don't let them sag. Really working, again, those oblique muscles in the abdominal wall, and then the hip abductor is important during running also.
And how long do you hold this then? About the same?
Karina, how long should we hold this? No, this is about the same. This is about a 30-second hold as well.
Okay.
3 times 30 seconds.
Okay, three times for that. What's the next exercise we'll have her do?
And so the next exercise that we're going to do is going to be the bridge with the march. Or excuse me, the Russian twist is where we're going next. And so this is a great exercise to work, again, those lateral oblique muscles. She's going to get kind of in this seated position with a little bit of a recline. That engages those anterior abdominal muscles. But then when you start to throw in this rotation, all of a sudden that kicks on the oblique muscles as well. Important in minimizing rotational forces while running. One of the primary responsibilities of the core muscles during running is controlling rotation, both at the hips, at the shoulders. This is an excellent way to work those muscles that are controlling that rotation to avoid excessive movement.
This is the first one that I really see looks like it's improving the core. The others just seem like it was some big, I don't notice the core as much. How long do you do this, by the way?
And so this is 10 to each side, and then you're going to repeat that 3 times.
Okay, we've got 3 exercises down, 2 more to go, Karina.
Awesome. So the next one...
We're almost to the end, okay?
The next one's going to be the bridge with the march. She's going to lay down flat on her back. And so the bridge part of this is you're going to use your muscles in your glutes and in your low back to raise your pelvis up towards the ceiling. You see that she can hold that nice and stable, nice and firm. Some people, this is actually difficult to even just assume this position. A little bit more runner specific is we're going to add the march to it. She's going to keep that nice stable position, keep your hips nice and level, engage those muscles again in your backside and in your back, and add the march to the exercise. To the
Karina, where's this hurting the most right now? Can you feel this? Okay, just check and make sure you're doing it okay. okay there. Okay.
Good.
One last exercise to do.
Sure, and so for this last exercise, we're going to pull this box out here. She's going to get up here. I call this one in the clinic runners, okay? And so basically it's a way she's standing on her right leg right now. She's going to kick that left leg back behind and reach forward with the opposite arm, and then she's going to go through basically this running motion, okay? I tell people to do this at home on the edge of a stair so that that left leg has room to swing. Basically simulating that running motion, really working that right hip, that leg that's down. We're working on the quads, we're working on the hip abductors there to stay nice and strong and stable.
If you're doing this like outside at a park, I'm assuming a curb you could do this on, right?
Yeah, completely. Curb, or even I've told people to go as far as up on a park bench. Do not fall off the park bench.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Karina, you're doing a great job. Do you feel your core strengthened already? Yeah.
She's ready to go. She's ready to go for a run.
She's got the ripped abs ready to go. Where do people find you if they want more information?
mlrehab.com/run.
Okay, great information for you, and of course we'll have all the runner's exercises to strengthen your core on our website as well. We'll be back with more in Studio 5 right after this.